23-year-old Nick has had enough of being super skinny.
I do get the mickey taken out of me for being quite thin. I look at my friends and they're a lot bigger than me.
Him being the scrawny one, it's a joke of the friends.
Thanks, mate. He's having a laugh, obviously, but it obviously shows that I look thin. If I'm getting mickey taken out of me, I don't feel confident.
Nick's desperate to measure up to his mates, so he's checking into the feeding clinic, overseen by Dr. Christian Jessen.
Hey, I'm Christian. Nice to meet you.
He's already undergone a full medical to make sure he's up to the challenge.
181 centimetres tall.
An average man of 5'11" should weigh 11.5 stone.
So you are 129 pounds.
That's an unhealthy 9 stone 3. Nick's feeble frame is a result of his disastrous diet.
When it comes to eating, I don't enjoy it. I just eat, because you have to.
He lives at home but snubs his mum's cooking in favour of fast food quick fixes.
I don't eat breakfast. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, I'll have a sandwich and an energy drink. 8, 9 o'clock, if I'm near fast food takeout, I'll get one.
With barely enough food to keep him going, this quick fix kid fuels his body with caffeine drinks.
In a day, I usually get through about 2 or 3 energy drinks. In a week, anywhere between 14 and 20.
OK, Nick, so I have done my sums, and your BMI is coming out about 17.8. I mean, a couple of stone would put you into a more healthy BMI, if I'm honest with you.
OK.
Do you have an ideal that you'd like to be?
Yeah, about 11.
Why?
Just to look more healthier. Just put some muscle on myself.
How do you feel you look?
Bag of bones, basically.
You obviously do have issues, you know, with your body. Well, really, it's self-esteem, isn't it? I don't think you're particularly proud of yourself or happy with yourself, are you?
Nick's confidence has hit rock bottom. He's longing for love, but feels like no one takes a second glance.
I think they would just take one look at me and think he's too thin for my liking.
Nick doesn't have really that much luck with ladies, no. Not really.
Whereas if I feel I was a little bit bigger and had a bit more muscly, I could have confidence to walk up to girls and start chatting to them.
To help put an end to his hunger strike, we've brought in the big guns. Meet Alyson, Nick's supersized swap partner.
The bigger I've got, food has just become my focus.
She's so fanatical about food, it's become a 24-hour obsession.
I'm often in my sleep, I think about what I'm going to eat the next day. I'm always just thinking about the next meal.
So you are 155 centimetres.
37-year-old Alyson is double the average weight of what a 5'3" person should weigh.
276.
That means Alyson is tipping the scales at nearly 20 stone. Alyson indulges her passion for eating by cooking hearty home-cooked dinners for her husband and 2 children.
My dinner in the evening I enjoy the most, and it's just the size I have is too big. I always find that I eat too much.
But that's not the half of it. On top of her massive meals, working mum Alyson is a serial snacker.
My favourite snacks are chocolate and crisps, a packet of biscuits, and then in the evening I can eat half a tub of ice cream.
By grazing on fatty and sugary foods throughout the day, she's piled on the pounds.
Every day I think about my weight. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. It's just massive. I don't like being that weight.
Alyson's about to get a wake-up call that will prove just how big her problem has become.
Alyson, your BMI comes out at 52.7. Over 40, we call morbidly obese. You're not even in that section. You're in the next section again, 50 plus, which is serious. Increased weight will increase your blood pressure. It will increase your risks of all sorts of medical conditions like diabetes, even cancers. I would suggest that, you know, your health reasons really ought to be high up on your list of motivators, because those are the things that are going to kill you.
It's time for these 2 extreme eaters to take drastic action. With a 10-stone weight difference, they're at dangerous ends of the scale. They're about to come face to face with their demons and address the issues they have with food once and for all. It's now time for Supersize to meet Superskinny.
My name's Alyson.
Nick. Obviously a lot different to you, yeah.
What size waist have you got?
27.
27, that sounds my thigh. 28, it's bigger than your waist.
And they're about to get another shock to their systems. To show them exactly what they have to stomach for the next 5 days, Dr. Jesson's going to demonstrate what a week's worth of each other's food looks like.
We're going to start straight away with your breakfasts. 3 pieces of toast. That's a week of breakfasts. Let's move on to lunch. That was a chocolate bar. That's 2 meals. You've gone through most of your day now. Is that enough?
Obviously not, no, but I think it's enough.
Well, let's have a look at your dinners. A burger.
When the hunger pangs hit, which isn't very often, it's a junk food jamboree of burgers, chips and pizza.
Let's have a look at what you drink. Energy drinks. I think you use them as a substitute for food.
The recommended daily intake for a man is 2,500 calories. But Nick has just 1,486, which adds up to a weekly undereat of almost 3 days' worth of food. Now it's time for Alyson's meals to go under the microscope, starting with her breakfasts.
Croissant, really, really high fat. And that particular type of cereal, also very high fat. OK, lunch. That looks like a salami sandwich. Let's move on to dinner. Rice and chicken. Alyson doesn't eat rubbish all of the time. The problem is, they are big portions, as I think you're going to find out this week.
After 3 main meals a day, Alyson then grazes on high-calorie junk food.
What you snack on is pretty much
this is like
what Nick eats.
The average woman should consume 2,000 calories a day, but Alyson's huge portion sizes mean she gets through a whopping 2,814 calories, which all adds up to a gut-busting overeat of almost 3 days' worth of food every week.
This is too much, and that's what's piling on the weight for you, and we're going to address that. From this point onwards then, your diets are now officially swapped, so give it your best shot.
I'm Anna Richardson, and I'm obsessed with getting the perfect body. All I see in front of the mirror are baggy bits and blemishes, and all I want is perfection.
They are like 2 giant blancmanges.
Over the last 5 weeks, I've tried everything to get myself the body beautiful. You name it, I'm trying it, and that's including the gym. However, I'm a girl in a hurry, and if the gym can't give me what I want, then I'll try whatever's going to get it.
Fine.
Take these stretch marks, for example. No amount of gym work is going to get rid of these.
So stretch marks all over my boobs, all down my hips, on the inside of my thighs, and those are really unattractive.
Stretch marks are a form of scarring on the skin, and the majority of women get them at some stage in life. There are all sorts of treatments on the market that claim to get rid of them, from creams to laser treatment to cosmetic surgery, but none of these methods can guarantee complete success. However, there's a new kid on the block that claims top-notch results, Carboxy. I'm off to Harley Street to meet Carboxy practitioner Linda Adams. Apparently, it's not permanent, but it does claim to seriously reduce those unsightly stretch marks.
Carboxy therapy is an infusion of carbon dioxide gas directly into the skin using a very fine needle. And what that does is basically causes your body to produce oxygen. So you're effectively increasing blood flow to the area. So lots of new oxygen, lots of nutrients to the skin. So you're improving the texture, the tone, the firmness, and also improve the colour of the area.
But what I really want to know is it painful? And only one person can answer that, Linda's next patient, 30-year-old business consultant, Veronica. She's halfway through her course of treatments.
Tell me the truth. Does it hurt?
No pain, no gain. So I would say it does hurt a little bit.
It hurts.
Well, here goes. The first needle pricks the skin and the gas is released.
The needle barely goes in at all. It's the gas that just goes under the skin and bubbles it up. Is it a bit like a bee sting?
Bee sting, yeah, I'll describe it as one.
Lots of bee stings.
Yeah.
You can see how we're getting some nice redness to the area.
Yeah.
We're increasing blood flow
Yes.
at this point.
These treatments cost about £100 per session, and as they're not permanent, ongoing top-ups could prove rather expensive.
If I knew that treatment was permanent, definitely, Stretch marks gone forever, I would absolutely have it done. But the thing is, you know, put a bit of weight on, have a baby, whatever, new stretch mark, you start all over again. And for me, for the sake of, you know, what looked like 100 injections, I'd rather wear big pants.
So unfortunately, the effects won't last forever and the price tag isn't cheap. So it's back to exercise for that perfect body. But I am sick of the gym.
Check this out. I think I'm turning into G.I. Jane, which is not the look I'm going for.
What else is out there that will get me trim, taut and terrific? I want a body that's lean and sculpted like Cameron Diaz and Demi Moore. So join me later when I road test one of their favourite activities, surfing.
Supersized snack lover Alyson and super skinny junk food junkie Nick have swapped their diets in an attempt to address their harmful eating habits. It's time for their first meal in the feeding clinic, and for Nick to get a taste of Alyson's massive portion sizes.
What is that?
It's like chicken and rice that we have, chicken casserole and rice.
And in return, Alyson is getting one of his fast food favourites.
I'm definitely going to finish mine. This is it. I'll even finish the ketchup.
Whilst Nick struggles with his mammoth meal,
I don't think I'll be able to finish it. I feel full already.
it takes Alyson no time to polish off her puny portion size.
It's more like eating a packet of crisps or something. It feels more like a snack than it does actually a meal.
Yeah, that's enough. That is it. It even sticks out, look.
I think mine sticks out because I finished that.
Nick stretched his stomach to the absolute limit. But later that night, there's even more of Alyson's food on the menu. Her bedtime snacks of crisps and biscuits.
My mind tells me that I need to have a pudding for my dinner or something. Yeah, so I just feel like I just need something before I go to bed.
I feel bloated, full. I feel like I could go upstairs, lay down and not move for another hour.
At lunch the next day, Alyson is confronted with a snack-sized taste of her own medicine.
It doesn't look very appetising, does it? Seriously.
Is that my lunch?
I feel proper out of body now getting it.
Wow.
Alyson is no stranger to crisps and chocolate.
When I have my lunch, I do have that with my lunch.
But eating them in isolation is making her view her snacking in a new light.
But just on its own, it just doesn't feel good. It's just rubbish food, it's just rubbish. It just makes you feel rubbish, but you don't realise when you're eating it with a sandwich how it makes you feel, but I just feel crap.
In a recent survey, 89% of people admitted to snacking in between meals, and it's usually out of boredom or depression rather than hunger. But the foods that we tend to turn to in our moments of weakness are high in sugar and high in fat, which is the worst thing we could do. Snacking on sugary foods temporarily raises your blood sugar levels, but when the energy levels crash, it leaves you feeling tired and low. It's a vicious circle that's hard but necessary to break.
It's beginning to dawn on Alyson just how damaging her diet is, and particularly her excessive snacking habits, which are causing her to overeat by nearly 1,000 calories a day, and that's mostly in her sugary and fatty snacks. This is the first thing that she's going to have to get on top of.
Dr. Jessen wants to highlight just how serious Alyson's situation really is, so he's arranged a personal message from America.
I want to show you a film that's been made specifically for you. This is a realistic picture of what might be if you don't change things.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Stephen English. I'm 59 stone and I'm 40 years old. The reason I began to put on weight is because I was independent and I was living alone and I had freedom to cook and eat as I wanted to. I would eat fried chicken, spaghetti, French fries, banana pudding, cake, pies, and after a period of time, it just got out of hand.